Okay, here it is, what you've all been waiting for, the complete and comprehensive Spirit Fireball guide video. Highly requested. I know a lot of you guys have been looking forward to this video, and I'm sorry for the wait. It does take a while to record clips, wait for base cooldowns, sync the audio, etc. And this is my first time, so I hope you'll understand. As a thank you for your patience and the support that you guys have shown me these past few months, honestly, it's been unbelievable. I wanted to announce a special giveaway for this tutorial series. I will be giving away 3 gold passes total over the span of the next 3 videos I have planned for this series. All you have to do to enter is like, subscribe and comment on any of the videos to enter the giveaway. Anyway, that's enough of that. Now let's get into the video. This guide will be split into 2 to 3 videos as I don't want to make one extremely long video and there is a lot to cover. I will be explaining every aspect of this army in detail, from army composition to base reading to attack timing, and I'll even throw in some extra tips and tricks that I have picked up using it. My aim is to make this the most extensive guide on this army on YouTube and allow you to freely change this army based on your playstyle and preferences. Spirit Fireball is extremely versatile, if not the most versatile strategy in the game, and I will explain further in this video. I have added timestamps to allow you to skip around and rewatch parts of the video, but I highly recommend watching the whole thing once before taking it out into Legend League so you get a good grasp of how this army works. Lastly, I want to give a huge shout out to 2 YouTubers who have helped me come up with this army. I'm sure you all know them, but I think it's important to give credit where it's due. The 2 YouTubers are Dark Clash of Clans and Shock. Both are linked in the description. I have used their respective Fireball Rocket Loon or Fireball Furnace armies as inspiration and come up with this weird amalgamation of both of them. Now, let's get into it. First, a quick breakdown for anyone new to this army. So, Spirit Fireball is an army that I have been working on and tweaking for the past few months. It's essentially a variation of a normal Fireball Rocket Loon army. It is extremely strong as most Fireball Rocket Loon armies are and can triple any base easily. It starts with a Spirit Walk used to funnel for a Fireball. Once the funnel is set, you set up your Fireball using a few Invis spells. After that, you put down some furnaces with your Warden and start the hero dive with your King and Queen and Siege Barracks away from your Warden. Make sure that at least 3 furnaces are up to support the Warden. Eventually, redeploy your RC and pop her spear immediately to help with the back end of the base. Now, I know a lot of you guys might be wondering, what is a Spirit Walk doing in a Fireball attack? So I actually have 3 reasons why I use a Spirit Walk. The first is an Angry Jelly replacement. If you guys remember, around April last year, the Angry Jelly was released into the game and it was the default pet for the Fireball Rocket Loon army on the Warden. It helped clear outside defenses for a deeper Fireball. However, with outer double raised bases and hook towers being meta these days, I think the new pet Sneezy has pretty much outclassed the Jelly and it has lost its place. The Spirit Walk, however, is almost a perfect replacement. You do need to spend a few extra spells, but this way you get the benefit of the Angry Jelly, plus you get to use the Sneezy on the Warden. So it's like a win-win situation. As a quick aside, this is one test that I did comparing the Angry Jelly and the Spirit Walk side by side, and as you can see, the timing is almost identical. The only difference is I think I used about 3 extra spells with the Spirit Walk version, except now I also have the Sneezy on the Warden. The second reason I'm going to give you guys is speed for funnel. So when you compare it to a straight up furnace charge or a regular Sneezy Warden charge, like the ones that Dark and Shock use, The RC is faster in setting the funnel, but you do need way more spells to do that. So there's pluses and minuses. There's also some creative ways to use the recall against certain bases. I know Shock has been really repping the recall on fireball attacks recently. So I'm going to talk more on that in the advanced video that's coming up soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. The last reason I'm going to give you guys is strongest equipment set. So how about a different perspective, right? If I asked you guys to show me the most powerful equipment setup for these heroes, I think most people would probably pick something similar to this. And as we all know, Clash of Clans is now Clash of Equipments. I think you would come pretty close to this army. So on the King, we have Spiky Ball, Earthquake Boots. On the Queen, we have Magic Mirror, Giant. On the Warden, we have Fireball, Rage Gem. And on the RC, we have the E-Boots and the Rocket Spear. The normal Fireball Rocket Loon army also comes close to this. However, there is one key replacement, which is that the E-Boots is swapped out for the Seeking Shield. That is because the RC is only used at the back end, and the E-Boots don't really get you much value there unless you're like sending her straight into defenses where she'll just die easily. So even Dark uses the Seeking Shield instead, which will get you more value in that specific attack. However, if you want to use every single damage equipment up to its full potential, I think you need to use this army instead. Okay, so now getting to the army composition and equipments and stuff. So with the heroes, it's super standard. I mean, Earthquake Boots, Spiky Ball, Magic Mirror, Giant, Fireball, Rage Gem, and the Spirit Walk equipments, which is Spear and E-Boots. Super simple. If you look at the army, here things get a little weird. This looks like a weird mishmash between Shock's army and Dark's army, right? Because I have a few Rocket Loons, I have a few Furnaces, and I have 2 Druids that I also got from Dark's army because he uses them with the hero dive, so to get more value. I think this is probably closer to like a Fireball hybrid army. As I said, it's like a mishmash of Furnaces and Rocket Loons, so I think that's good. If you look at the CC, we have 4 super minions. I have tried triple furnace as well. I just find that the 4 super minions are faster at getting value. I think over time the furnaces will get you more value, but the 4 super minions can be effective against multi infernos and stuff as well, which the furnaces really struggle against. So I really believe in super minions with this strategy. And yeah, the weirdest part of this army is probably the 8 Invis spells. Some would say that's a little excessive, but I believe it is safer and it can get you more value across a variety of different bases, right? So if you're using a Spirit Walk plus a Fireball attack, you'd probably want the extra Invis. I have seen some people get away with just bringing 1 extra Rage. The Rage you can use with your Hero Dive or with your Warden as well. That works. You guys can try it out. This is kind of what I meant by the versatility aspect of this army. You can probably honestly go more like this as well. This is probably closer to like a traditional Fireball Rocket Loon army. You can try it. I prefer bringing 8. I think I can go for deeper fireballs and longer Spirit Walks as well, which gives me more versatility. But yeah, you do you know, this is your army after all. Last thing, sieges, not that important. On 95% of bases, I use my siege barracks. That is probably the best with your hero dive, gets the most value. Log launcher I use only on Invis bases if I need my hero dive to deal with the Invis section. And honestly, I only use the log launcher when I miss my fireball. So if there's a core Invis base and I need to trigger that Invis ASAP, then I use the log launcher with the hero dive. Otherwise, honestly, I don't touch this. And the flame flinger only when you get value, right? I will say though, if you can find flame flinger value on a base, that base is like ultra crushed at the end of it because you probably swag RC every single time. So yeah, that's the army composition. Let's get to the attacks. Okay, so how does this army work? So with any fireball army, obviously the first step is to find where you want to fireball. I picked this base for the demo because I figured this is probably the easiest to explain how this works. Obviously you want to fireball something in this range compartment, right? And on bases like this, just a quick tip, a fireball on the Crusher Mortar basically gets everything. So it'll get you all 3 Infernos plus the multi-gear tower plus the CC, which is also super important for this army. So when it comes to fireball targets, it's pretty much the same as any other army. You know, Monolith is super high value, Fire Spitters are super high value, Heroes are high value, especially Queen if you can just get one-shot her off. Scatter shots are high value, basically any other army, right? So on this base, obviously everything is super compact over here, so I aim for this Crusher Mortar. Now, how to set up the fireball. So obviously, as I said, you're using a spirit walk to set that up, right? So if I want to get my warden to fireball this crusher mortar, obviously the closest distance to that is probably somewhere around here, right? Somewhere around the wizard tower. So all of these defenses are basically a hindrance to your fireball, because we don't want to waste too many invis, right? And even after the invis is done, we don't want too many defenses, because the warden might walk up, or too many defenses might lock onto him very quickly, which might cause for more spell investment. So spirit walking most of this section out is the best move for this army. And I would honestly compare this to like an angry jelly. So if you remember back in the day when Fireball Rocket Rune first got popular, people were using the Warden Walk with an angry jelly, right? And the whole point of the angry jelly was to take out these kind of trash buildings, so you can get the fireball down to where you want it to go, right? You can ignore all of this and maybe pop a few invis. Another thing that Angry Jelly did was it didn't get rid of any of these trash buildings, right? It only targeted defenses. So after the defenses were down, the warden was kind of stuck for a while on these gold mines, on this elixir storage, etc. And then that gave you enough time to get the fireball off. However, with the ice block spell, you don't actually need to worry about that as much anymore. Plus, you can always insta fireball, right? That's what I mainly do on most bases, which is as soon as the warden is dropped to pop his ability. So even if there's any Teslas in the area, it wouldn't matter. So getting back to this base, I would start my spirit walk here, get all of this out, and also get this stuff out, right? All the trash buildings, because of the spirit boot or the electro boots aura. And then you need to think about which way the warden's gonna go after the fireball. So do you want to send him up, or do you want to send him down, like this way? So on this base, it is also a little dependent on the spirit walk. So I'll just show you guys the spirit walk part of this. So as I said, dropping it by the wizard tower, getting all the value I wanted. The RC did go a little bit to the right, which I did not expect. I wanted her to go inside, but it's not as big of a deal, as you'll see clearly later. Messed up the Invis a little bit, but that's fine. And recall. So if I just pause real quick, so this entire section is gone. Now the warden has two choices. He can either go up this way, or he can go down this way. And I just figured it's easier for him to go down, because there isn't much damage here, because he needs to deal with them one at a time. So the Expo is going to lock onto him first. That's not a lot of damage. The RC is going to get involved as well. So that's pretty much it. Nothing else is going to hit him. Maybe the multi-archer tower will also trouble him a little bit. But the furnace mites will distract all three of these defenses for a while. The monolith is next up, and honestly, the raged healers, the rage gem healers, can go against the monolith easily. So you don't need to worry about that either. And then he just needs to worry about these defenses. After that, he's home free. So this side is actually super easy, and it may not be as easy for your hero type. Although, honestly, on this base, after getting all this value down, you can probably send the warden up, down, it doesn't really matter. But scatter shots and the king they are more annoying, as well as the minion prince, right? So I would suggest warden walking this side instead. So let's just do that. So just one invis, and you can see it went exactly on the crusher mortar, and all these defenses are taken out. So then just the double house click and boom. So if you look at the value that we got out of that, I mean, there's nothing really left in the base, right? So I used the spirit walk to set that up super nicely. All the healers, all the furnaces, and now you can kind of chill and just observe, like make sure that the warden doesn't die to like any maybe some black air mines or something that might come out and get the healers. Maybe the RC is gonna get aggroed super early, like what happened here. So just keep an eye on him. I didn't think I needed to supplement anything on this attack, so that's fine. I also started my siege barracks on top, because I want the hero dive to go towards this town hall. I could have started the siege barracks next to this spell factory and got the heroes to go inside. But if you look at the king value that you'll get out of that, or the king ability value, I should say, the earthquake boots, you won't get much better value if the king is outside the wall or inside the wall. Like maybe you'll open to the town hall compartment, the queens can reach that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I figured to just let the king and the queen go solo here, let them take their time. All this trash stuff doesn't matter. And then this can actually cut the funnel really well, because it'll get rid of all of these trash buildings, and that will force the heroes to go inside, and it'll force the heroes to go towards this Rico cannon. So that's why I put the siege barracks at 12. So we can just kind of speed through the rest of this. It's honestly not that hard. So yeah, warden is chilling. He'll take the giga bomb, no problem. Ice Golem could have been deployed a little better, I think, because I think the king got locked onto before the Ice Golem ever would. So that's kind of bad. Yeah, so as I said, the Earthquake Boost just opens everything anyway. It didn't really matter if he was inside or outside. That's why I chose to do this. 2 druids with the queen, because the giant actually also benefits a lot from the 2 druids. So I do really like the druids in this army, as well as the clones, of course. And I would also just suggest, just as a extra tip, if you drop your druids, you want to pop your queen ability soon. And the reason you want to do that is, even if your queen is not in a lot of damage, you want to maximize the amount of value you get of these druids. So if I just let the queen go here, she'll probably not die, right? Like, she's probably not going to go to auto ability here because there's just a Rico cannon in the town hall, and the X-Burn 2 druids will out heal that. However, if I do that, not only will the druids turn into bear super early, but then the queen gets vulnerable later in the attack. Maybe not on this base because, I mean, it's kind of crushed. But on other attacks, it might end up being a big issue because the queen will be going to auto ability more often and she won't have any healing left. So I would suggest just pop the giant ability now and let the clones take advantage of this extra healing that you're getting now. So that's what I would do. So I just popped the queen ability immediately. She was not in any danger, but honestly, even for time's sake, you should probably pop the queen ability when you think, you know, there's a lot of value out there. So as you can see, I swagged RC plus 3 spells. Honestly, this is probably the easiest base to attack, and it's a good way to explain how this attack works. So next base. Okay, let's talk about timings. I know a lot of you guys have been struggling with time fails with this army. Spirit Fireball is extremely strong, but it is inherently slow. So keep these 5 rules in mind to prevent time fails. So rule number 1, do not use more than 3 invisibilities on your RC walk. I know it's tempting, you guys have 8 invisibility spells, so you want to Spirit Walk half the base. But trust me guys, all that's doing is harming your Warden, because that just means he has way less time to clear the base. On any base, your Warden is going to be alone and only has furnaces to support him, and he has a lot of ground to cover. So don't hamper that even further by like wasting time with the Spirit Walk. Second tip that I'm going to give, or rule that I'm going to give you guys, is do not use more than 4 Invis on your Fireball. So if you want to kind of club those two together, you should not use more than 6 invisibility spells total on both your Spirit Walk and your Fireball. And you should have at least 2 left to save your Warden. So for example, on this attack, the Warden got locked onto by the single Inferno, right? So I needed to use an Invis. If I used all my Invis on the Spirit Walk or the Fireball, then I wouldn't have that, and then the Warden would be dead right now. So yeah, keep that in mind. Don't use more than 6 to set your Fireball up, and obviously the less you use, the better it is. So you can, you know, have some more staying power late in the attack. So for example, on this attack I had like 5 left because I only used I believe 3 to set up the Fireball. So the less invisibility spells you use, the better. And if you end up swagging at the end of the attack, then I mean that's just better, right? So keep that in mind. The third rule I'm going to give you guys is start your Siege Barracks and Hero Dive as soon as possible. So on this attack, if you guys notice, after the Fireball was done, the funnel was already made. I knew the Warden was going to go down, and I used a few loons to lure him towards this mono side, and I knew that this side was always going to be for the hero. So I immediately started my Siege Barracks. I didn't wait. However, on certain bases, the Warden might take a little longer to pick a side, and if that is the case, then you need to start your Siege Barracks at 1 minute 45 seconds. So just remember that 1 minute 45 seconds, your Siege Barracks needs to be down. If you don't do that, then you're going to end up time failing, and your hero dive is going to take way too long. The next rule is you need to start your heroes as soon as possible as well. So as soon as I drop my Siege Barracks, I let it cook for maybe like 10 seconds or so, and then I drop my heroes. If you're using the late Siege Barracks, which is like 1 minute 45, then 1 minute 30 your heroes need to be down. So I'm giving you 15 seconds with the Siege Barracks to set up the funnel. So place the Siege Barracks accordingly. You know, don't just place it next to the heroes, because then no funneling is going to happen. Always place it a little bit more towards this side, towards these defenses, instead of dropping it right next to the heroes, so that they can, you know, funnel out the trash buildings ahead way quicker, and start your heroes at 1 minute 30. So your Ice Golem, King, Queen need to be down at 1 minute 30 seconds. And the last tip I'm going to give you guys is start RC at 45 seconds with her ability pop immediately. So the RC will have the spear, will have the rocket spear, right? So you want to drop her and then pop her ability as soon as possible. This is so that you can get maximum RC spear value, and 45 seconds I've found is the perfect time to drop her, so you don't end up time failing. I know a lot of you guys might drop her maybe with 20 seconds left or like 30 seconds left. That's not enough time. So on this attack as well, I believe right about now I had about 50 to 40 seconds left, so I decided to drop her around this wizard tower area with the ability pop. Yeah, there we go. And this will also help prevent time fails. So keep these 5 rules in mind. I'm just going to repeat them one more time. Not using more than 3 to 4 Invis on the RC. Don't use more than 4 Invis on the fireball. Start your siege barracks at 1 minute 45 latest. Heroes at 1 minute 30 latest. And RC with ability popped immediately, no later than 45 seconds. So as long as you keep these 5 tips in mind, you will reduce your chances of time failing by a lot. Time for a bonus army. I call this Apprentice Fireball. Essentially, instead of the Spirit Walk and in the Spirit Fireball attack, I just replaced it with the Spear and the Shield and made the RC do the exact same thing. So pop her ability immediately, use 1 Earthquake to get extra value. So I brought 1 extra Earthquake, and just let her Spear take out all the trash defenses on the outside, and then deploy your Warden and your Hero Dive essentially the exact same way. I think this is an inferior version for sure. I have gotten into a few time troubles with this army, and I've even gotten a few regular fails as well, but I think this is a good way to learn Spirit Fireball for real. So I would suggest give this a shot. I'm also going to share a replay that I did on a base that I had, so you guys can see how powerful this truly can be, and who knows, maybe one of you guys can figure out a way to make this work even better than I did. But for now, I'm going to give you guys this army link as well as the base link that I FC'd with. And I want you guys to just go and try this out. You know, if you're new to this army, if you're new to Fireball armies, this can help you get the multitasking aspect down. And yeah, let's jump into the replay. Okay, so replay time. This base, I picked this base because it's pretty easy to get Fireball value on this. So if you're a beginner, then it's going to be way easier for you to learn on this. So essentially, I wanted to fireball this Rico cannon because I think it's the closest and it gets the most value out of all other defenses, and it's super easy as well. So normally I would start a Spirit Walk around here, chip all of these defenses out, and then maybe go with a double Invis and get it onto the Rico cannon. Or you could Spirit Walk from here, get all of these defenses out, and then Invis Town Hall, and then Invis maybe a few defenses here, and then get to the Rico cannon. But you'll see what I do instead. So RC without any Spirit Walk or Fox, and just waiting for this Wizard Tower to go down. 1 Earthquake just to get more value, and then pop the Seeking Shield immediately. Now as you can see, she's doing the exact same thing she would in a Spirit Walk, except we're just going to let her die. So the Phoenix is going to get activated, and the defending RC is also going to just wreck her, but that's perfectly fine. Pop Phoenix, and she can finish off the Expo, plus this Builder Hut, which is really clutch. A few Rocket Loons to get this Wizard Tower out, and that Tesla. Yep. And now essentially just 1 Invis, and then boom, Insta Fireball, and yep, there we go. Just look at that value. I mean, now there's nothing left. So this is a really good way to practice your Fireball accuracy. It can go a little wrong if you mess up the Spear and Shield. So this, practice makes perfect. Drop 3 Furnaces behind the Warden as always. Siege Barracks on top as always. Obviously we want the heroes to go towards this Monolith side. Yeah, so just waiting for the Furnaces to finish the funnel, and yeah, there we go. So Ice Golem, King Queen. Siege Barracks is from the other half of the funnel amazingly. And from here you can pretty much just coast. I mean, I didn't really have to do anything else. So if you just want to practice the Fireball aspect of this army, then this is perfect. 1 more wall break just to get into the mono compartment. Yeah. Rage, and now you guys can see what Raged Queen can do. So Queen and her clones, which is another level of damage. I mean, just watch this. Plus the Druids keep everything alive from the Monolith, which is insane. Normally on my normal attack it probably wouldn't have worked out this way, So rages can actually help. If you guys think rages might help you out, then maybe even consider removing 2 Invis from the normal army and adding a rage instead. So you always have that option. But as you can see, we don't have an RC in the back end, but it's still so crushed. It does take it is a little iffy on time. I believe I had about 10 seconds left in this attack. But again, just to practice the normal Spirit Fireball out, and if you're scared of trying like the main version out, then you can always try this Apprentice version, which I think is much better. And just look at the amount of spells I swagged. I mean, look at that. So, I mean, there's definitely something to this army, and let me know if this helps. And there we have it. That's the end of part 1, the beginner's version, Spirit Fireball 101, if you want to call it that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. I will be posting the advanced version a few days later, and I will also post a third version where I go through an entire Legends Day with y'all. So stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, don't forget to like and comment to enter the Gold Pass giveaway. And I want you guys to give me some feedback. What did you like about the strategy? What did you not like about the strategy? What did you like about the video? Could I have changed anything? Did you guys feel anything was missing? So honestly, any constructive criticism is welcome. And yeah, that's all I have for today. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.